I was taking notes, but I forgot to start the recording and stuff.
Yeah.
But I always do these, and especially something like this is definitely going to help out other people too. Because people do have this issue of not knowing what what's going on, what they need to do, what they should be doing, what they want to do.
Yeah.
So uh, you're struggling with that. You're trying to figure that out.
Yeah. So I just got into this less than a year ago. It's really, I mean, not noble story. It's a noble story. My kid had to get these special glasses because his eyes are deteriorating faster than they're supposed to. It was like $5,000, right? Now I work for a nonprofit with at-risk youth, and so I don't make a lot of money, and that's okay. It's never bothered me before until my kids started needing medical bills and dental bills and food.
Yes.
They don't eat top ramen all the time, so I did, but they do not, right? So I have a friend who worked with me at Ranch, and he is a tech guru, and he's like, dude, you got to jump on this. You got to get on it now. And so I've just been feels like I've always been playing catch up, right? So I got hooked up with Aminos entirely by accident, loved it, thought chatbot was the answer, and it still kind of is. I'm having a real hard time selling them because people they're very scared. They're scared of AI. They're scared of change in general. And I'm not a salesman. Like, look, if you don't fucking like it, don't take it. Which isn't really working. That route's not working for me lately.
Right.
And so I just wanted something to help cover some of those costs. And as I have been learning more about AI and automations and Make and N8N and Google's new one and then Lovable and Bolt and all that stuff, I'm like, oh my God, I could make $1 million. And I actually ended up responding to Kieran Lewis for one of his little emails that he sent out of DMs, and I responded to him, and I figured I'd get like an AI response, which I'm okay with, but I think it was actually him. I think he really responded, and he told me one of his first things was like, only $1 million, like you can do better. So that got me thinking. Let me started like, wait a minute, I can pull this off in 5 to 10 years, if not sooner. Like, okay. And so from there, and he said, this is exactly where you need to be. You need to do the chatbots, you need to do the automations. And then again, there's just so many other things. Like he just put out that thing about the TikTok viral stuff. And I started doing that, and I realized, actually I knew before, but I hate social media so much. I do social media for another company, and I can't stand it. I can't. People take it way too seriously, like super serious. And so I do it for one company right now for a few $100s a month, and that is it. So I started, but shiny things, right? I'm gonna go after the shiny things. So I did that for a little while, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this thing called Verta, and I'm doing Aminos, and then I'm trying to do. I fell for it, and although it's probably legit, but the Agent X thing that Kieran put out, I fell for that. I went for that, and I'm just getting torn on all these different places, and I don't know what I need to focus on, right? Because what if that Agent X is my $1 million ticket? What if Aminos is the $1 million ticket? What if this viral TikTok thing is the $1 million ticket? I don't know. And I think I was thinking about this last night when you offered this, and I was like, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? I think part of my problem is I want it now. I want this shit now, right? And you're not going to be an overnight millionaire. And I want it now, but I'm not afraid of the work. I'm not afraid to spend the next 5 years grinding away, building up portfolio, doing whatever I need to do. I don't know what I need to do. So again, I was thinking about this, right? I enjoy creating things on Lovable and Bolt. I enjoy doing the automations I've been doing it for another company, and I'm just getting into it. And so it's kind of an uphill struggle to learn how to map everything and really what it can do. Because I got this feeling that it's can do a lot more than I know of, if that makes sense. Like I just don't know. And so that all of that on top of a full-time job with 2 kids, a wife, I'm up till 1 o'clock in the morning grinding away at this. I'll get up at 5 or 6. I'm doing 5 hours, 6 hours of sleep a night, trying to chase my $1 million. And I'm just wondering if that lifestyle is not sustainable. And I gotta pick 1 or 2 things and just go after that until it starts to pay off. And again, I understand. And I was thinking about this a lot that when you offered to help, that again, trying to focus my attention, and I need to pick 1 or 2 things and just go after it until it sustains, and then maybe chase the $1 million idea. I don't know, but I do have this idea for an app for my company that the people I've talked to about it, this one may actually be $1 million idea. It's an app for basically residential facilities that allows secure communication between adults and minors, which is a big issue across the country right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at Roblox.
Yeah,
that whole big thing. That sucks. Not even video games anymore. Safe.
No, I know.
So
my kid plays Fortnite, and we had him turn on the volume on the TV because he has headphones on, and we turned the volume on. I was like, good God. Oh my God, no, shut all that off.
Yeah. See, I'll play Call of Duty or something, but I'll turn off the mics and the speaker. I don't want to hear everybody. I don't listen to any of that. I'm just out there on my own. Some days I'll just go out there, go sniping. Some days I'll just be, totally. And then I start seeing where I am in the time zone. The time zone that I'm playing is picking my kids up from school for waiting in line for a half hour. I'm on there. I'm like, man, I'm just getting plastered. And I'll look at the time zone. I'm like, oh, everybody's up in India and stuff. It's peak day or nighttime over there. I'm like, shit, no wonder I'm getting my ass whooped, and so then it's just then I just jump off. But I can see that. It's well, there's that. Okay, I'm just 5 games in a row, just smash, smash, smash. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Getting brutal, beat up. And it's yeah, no, I'm off.
It's usually by 17-year-old kids with attitudes. I'm getting my ass handed to me by an old 17-year-old kid. I'm like, you know what? No, you don't get to do that to me.
Well, no, because this is where we get to be smarter. Because I always thought I did this with my son too. There was a problem beforehand. Took all his good toys away when he was back in high school and stuff. Then he, started getting money for Christmas and stuff. And he's like, if I get the money, can I have a PlayStation or Xbox or whatever? I'm like, yeah. And so he gets it, and he's like, see, you can't take it away. I'm like, you still need internet for that, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, can you play anything without internet on that? Well, no. I'm like, okay, you still better watch your ass. But it taught him. It taught him to get that, though. That was the good part about it. I go, but dude, you're still in the house, so I still got internet, so I can still control that. And he was just like, shit. He'd dawn on shit. Yeah.
I understand.
So, but yeah, no. Back to what you're talking about there. There is truly so much going on out there. For me right now, I'm not doing with apps because there's an app for everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what do you create? I don't mind a very useful app. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
But I can't just see something that's just kind of a use for you and me type thing. It's I don't want to. There's no use for it. Even same thing with automations and stuff. People will go through and create an automation, spend 12 hours, 2 days, whatever it's going to take to create an automation to send the salt across the table to me, right? And it's just reach across the table and grab it. Like there's no issue with that. If I'm a quadriplegic and stuff like that, like yeah, I can see something like that being beneficial. But you're fully capable. Like just grab the salt and just put it on there. Like that's it. Like just do it. Um, people sit there and have automations for setting up the each cells, each row or columns in Excel to be a certain length and stuff. Based. I'm like, I really don't care. They're like, oh, it saves lots of time. I'm like, well, if you're in there all the time doing that stuff, then yeah. But like me personally, I'm not in there all the time, and it's just like set, 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 and like call it a day. Like I'm not worried about that. So like when people do stuff like that, that's just one of those things where it's just like, hey, I wonder if I can do it. Now there is a place for them for that because they're just like, hey, I wonder if I can do that. Great, they make it. That's how technology gets to expand. But I'm not on the technology building side of that sorts. Like I'm not out there trying to code. I'm not out there trying to do all this, all this other stuff like that. Like the tools are there. Like I'm not like I'm come from an automotive technician background, right? I'm used to working on cars. You can literally take a $300 toolbox that you would get from Home Depot, Huskies, Stanley's, whatever, that box, and you can pretty much do like 90% of anything on a car, right? Now, the problem is that you can, but you may need a longer extension, a bigger socket for doing certain things, and it's more manual. It's going to take you longer. For the home mechanic guy, the DIY guy, that's going to be perfect. But in somebody that's doing it as a job, as a business, such as myself, I invest 300 to 500 bucks in an electric ratchet to put it on there. That's done. That's done. And I'm not sitting there spending 2 minutes trying to unratchet that whole thing and go find out that it's a bolt that long when I can just go, so that doesn't bother me. Um, so like I'm not there to invent the tools and stuff. I'm just there to use the tools that are already there. So then now into the AI, yes, everything is now a shiny object and it is growing. Now, the way that I see like Lovable, Bolts, Base 44, and all those apps, right? Those are now, that's like Claude, ChatGPT, um, Llama, and DeepSeek, and all those. The app builders are now essentially those LLM models. Like you now have a group of solid ones. They do the job. They are good, right? But like at the same time, again, I haven't gotten into it because I'm like, well, what do I need it for? Like, what do I need to build for somebody? Like, what do I even need to build for myself out of that? Like that I can't do without ChatGPT or something. So, for instance, I've just kind of been playing around with this is because he had mentioned aminos. Kieran's got this app called Charm, right?
Yeah.
Where you just input the thing and it'll spit that
Yep.
out.
Use
So
it.
I'm like, okay, you know what? Cool. Like, let me see about that. And so I went in there and I've been playing around with that, trying to create an app like that, right? So that way, in turn, I can have my customers just kind of like use that and let them play around with it and say, hey, yeah, this is how you're building out your bots. This is what you're doing, yada, yada, yada. And so I've been going through and creating that. And I'm like, okay, it's cool and all, but like I can also go get the same thing by going to Chat GPT and just giving it the prompt that I want it to do. And it starts breaking that down. If you choose this, it goes down this branch. If you choose this, and I'm like, so it's kind of the same thing. So I'm like, I can build it in an app that I might be able to go through and put my name on there, which does the same thing as that I can get off of Chat GPT. So it's kind of like,
Hmm.
do I really want to keep doing it? Because it is doing the same thing, right?
Right.
Because in turn, ultimately, you're still going to have to copy and paste all that information from the app into your Meetos chatbots to be able to build that out. Now, if it could go through and build out that workflow inside Aminos, that would be something totally different. I'm not the developer on that, so I don't know how or if that there would even be available. Um, that's above my level on it. But again, I'm back to using the tools that are available. So yeah, you could be a developer and stuff of like apps and like just trying to figure things out. But then we also have aminos. And before go back to the aminos, I'll touch on like the third party apps of, N8N, Make, and Zapier and stuff. Those That way is a good way to bring a bunch of different items together and make automations happen. That's always a good path. Um, like that's the area that I really love doing because I love building and figuring that stuff out just from tinkering around on cars and stuff. Um, and so like I love doing that. And like for me personally, I ultimately get into doing like a freelance job. I now call myself kind of a freelancer because I do pick up these jobs to do custom builds, custom automations that, somebody wants to use this tool, this application over here in this system, and I'm going to make that work together in the middle. I'm going to bring that together in the middle to make that work for them, right? And build that out. How can I connect these two things together and make it work from the one system? So that's what I'm doing. I'm using N8N, Make, Zapier, and stuff like that, and I'm building out the automations in there. Just because I'm kind of going through and like, and this part here takes some time because this is some skill too, is you have to have that, like I interview and consult with that business,
Right.
what it is that you're looking for, what it is that you want it to do, what do you need it to do, and what is your problem? What is it that you're trying to overcome here? So your problem is here, and then now I'm coming up with the solutions right there on how to fix that. People like, well, I got everyone sending me all this information, and it just comes in and they're like, hey, look at line 26 and this and that, and I'm like, okay, well, what if we just basically you gave everybody this form link and you said you have to fill this out. These are required fields, and if they're not filled out, it doesn't get submitted. And she's like, oh my goodness, I love that. I go, and then on top of it, once it comes in, we can take the numbers that are in there and put in the calculations that'll convert it to say, yes, it's this, yes, it'll work, or no, it won't. So then if no, it won't, then we can just bypass that lead and say, hey, you need to gather some more information on this because this doesn't work. And then now it saves her time. And she's like, oh my goodness, like I love that. So instead of everyone, sending her like 20 different people sending her all this stuff in a day, now she's getting like 4 or 5 because everyone's information is getting rejected because it's not correct. So it's like, yeah, hey, I got somebody that wants to sell their house. And it's just a matter that somebody said, yeah, I'll sell my house. And somebody goes, yeah, 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 cool. Thank you. Thank you. And then they give her the information and she's like, well, what are they asking? I don't know. What are the terms and conditions? I don't know. When do they want to move? When do they want to sell? I don't know. Okay, so then now we make that form. If you can't answer that, then it gets rejected. And if it does, and once that information does go into the system, it'll take it in. But there's certain calculations in there of, asking price and selling price and stuff like that, that the calculation happens. And if it doesn't meet a certain percentage, then it kicks it out. So then now that's something that she doesn't have to worry about because that's somebody that's not doing their job properly, And so then by doing that, it forces people to do their job properly instead of relying on her to, help them out essentially. And so like doing that's option automations and workflows and stuff through the system that go through to do this, right? And now I'm coming in to help her out by rebuilding her system for her, for doing things like that. She wants to automatically, you know, have the contract in there and be able to just fill it out and send it. And I broke it down to that even inside the contact, we'll put those fields in there. And when those fields are all filled out, then we'll click send, then we'll click the send button and then it'll automatically populate that contract and send it. And she's like, "Oh, I love that too." I'm like, "Okay." So instead of her having to spend all this time on there, reading through the contract, trying to fill out where everything is, make a template of it, and then now just take the fields that we need to put into the contract. And now she just clicks send, and it automatically populates in there and sends off the contracts. And she's like, "Oh my goodness, like I love that." So it's stuff like that that they are having the problems that we can deliver on. So now you're having to ask and consult with them. What are you trying to do? What's your problem here that you're needing help with? And now when because a lot of times like businesses don't even know their processes,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to kind of help them out with that. So they're all the same. Leads, people, content, comments, whatever. Something has to come in for the business to work. Like if nobody walks through the door, like you can have a store, that's fine. But if nobody comes through the door, you're not selling anything. Like I don't care if you're selling drugs and they're coming in the back door. Like they have to, somebody has to be coming in. So without that, then you got nothing going on. So again, now what is it that you need help with? What's going on, and how can like what are you looking for to happen? Like, well, I just need to get more leads. Okay, well, you know, I can definitely help you out with that. What are you doing right now that you're having an issue with? Are you, posting on social media? Are you websites and all this stuff? Yeah, I got a website that like killer. I've spent like, $1,200 on and stuff, this and that. And it's like, okay, well, how do you have a form on there that anyone can fill out?
Right.
Well, no. Okay, well, let's go through that. Let's put one on there. And then now we can take chatbots and put those on there and create, essentially create an intake form. And so then now now we come back down to the chatbots like you were talking about. This is where they are powerful because even in my businesses, I still use them as like with the aminos, I'll give them away. I'll give away those bots. I'll give you a bot. I
Yeah.
really don't care. Yeah, I really don't care because guess what? So I'm really surprised you haven't even seen my post in aminos. Like,
I've seen you around. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
then you need to watch. You
I
need
guess I
to,
need to pay more attention. Yeah.
yeah. So in turn, what I've done was I've taken a simple aminos bot and I automated it. So they purchase it, right? And then they're getting a web form. Now that web form is, their company name. It's dialogue for their prompt. What's your company name? What are your hours? What's your phone number? Give me a calendar link. What do you want your bot's name to be? Um, any sort of special features and stuff like that. So then what's the website? And so then now once they fill out that form and it comes in automatically drops into my system, that form now the trigger is that the website, if the website field is not empty, then it sends out to my scraper and it scrapes their website, right? So it goes through, scrapes out all the information from their website, and then it passes it over to a prompter bot, and it creates a prompt in there. Takes all that information and creates a basic prompt. It's there's three choices. Hey, you're a support, you're sales, you're a lead gen, right? And it's just three simple prompts in there. So they're selecting what type of bot. Do you want a support bot? Do you want a lead gen or whatever? So we'll just say lead gen. So they're going to sit there and fill out the website, the name of their website, their lead gen type bot, and then it's going to come out. And the two pieces that are coming through are the website. Boom, it scrapes the website. Then it goes into the prompter, and it says it's looking for is it a what is it? It's a lead gen. Okay, so they're looking for a lead gen. Now it just uses the lead gen prompt, right? And takes all that information that I just gave it to fill in those spaces, right? So now it takes that and rewrites that into a prompt. Once that's done, it emails me, right? Well, actually, what it emails me, and it also sends the prompt back into my CRM, being their contact information, sends it back in there, And from there, then I can open up the prompt that the bot delivered, and I can peruse it just to make sure that it's, clear and concise and everything. And once it is, okay, boom, I copy that, and in Aminos, I have templated bots, right? So already set up. It's just, I just got to go in there, put in the company name, because it's like name, phone number, email, and then goes into an AI block. So then now I'm putting in the bot's name, the company name, the phone number and stuff, and then the rest of that detailed information is inside the AI block. So then I'm just taking that whole prompt and pasting that into the AI block, right? And so then now, once I get that code, once I get the embed code, I take that, go back into my CRM, take that code, paste that right in there, and then once I save that, that field is now filled. Now what that there actually does then is it sends that information over to them via email. Hey, here's this link. Here's PDFs of how to install that. Here's a chatbot page with a chatbot that'll help you walk you through on how to do that. Okay, again, so I set that up, and then here's some videos of me putting it in, plain and simple, and then they get that email with all that now, and then it also says, well, we'll install it for you for $50, right? And so then now we just leave it at that. So now the only thing I did was I copied the prompt, pasted it into the CRM, went back into AminoServe really quick, put the name, the company name, the bot name, the phone number, their email address, right? And then turn around and then just took that code, put it back in my CRM, and click save, and then the rest of that all started off, right? So I'm in there very, very minimal, and I will tell them, 24 to 48 hours before, turnaround time on that. It's all automated. That whole process is all automated. I just have it so I can see the prompt, so I can make sure that it is good, and if I need to, then I can reconfigure it. But for them getting it for free or $20 or whatever, one-time fee, like that prompt doesn't really matter. As long as it does what it does, like if they want a better prompt or, something more specific, they can. Because then now I'm still marketing to them. Hey, how are those leads going? And so now because they're getting that, now I'm doing that. Now from there I can build out to pushing their leads into a Google Sheet. Then I can go even more advanced and push their leads into their system automatically and build out the workflows and automations in there. So like, let's just say someone's getting like 20 leads a day. Like, man, I got to copy and paste all this stuff into my CRM. Like it takes time. I'm like, well, you can hire a VA or I can automate it for you. And I can do like push it into a sheet there for you. And then like, you can do whatever you want with it, or I can push it into your CRM. And I can go through and help you build out all the actionable workflows through there. Like once it comes in, and if they chose this item, they selected this item on there, then we can do this and this and this, and like we can make it do all kinds of things. So starting off from a very, very simple bot that I'm basically pretty much just giving away, I can then go on to do much more. Now people are like, well, but it's not asking any questions. I'm like, well, it's asking their name, their phone number. Now, if we have me automate all this stuff, we'll create a specialized prompt for you, for you and your business, now that there's money, creating all the automations in their system, pushing it to their system, creating the automations in their system, working in theirs is more money and stuff too. So now I'm interjecting myself like, hey, here's a chatbot for you for like $20, one time, and like that's it, have at it. And then they get to, I get to still market to them because now they're in my system. And I'll know like, okay, they come in, they've got the email, or they got the Google Sheets, or they got the ultimate package, right? The ultimate build out. And as long as they still have the emailing tag, then I'm still marketing to them. So then I create a template where their bot responses are coming in through my system and running out through my email. So then now I'm marketing with their bot conversation, but it's running out through my email that I'm getting to market to them on. Hey, how are those leads? You still having fun with those leads? Copy and pasting those in. When you're ready to upgrade, we're here for you. Or you got questions, you want to upgrade. Here's our calendar. Here's this. Here's that. Right. So now I'm giving it away to market to them
Okay,
by
so
them using it.
all right, so what you're doing is you're giving away just a real basic thought, letting them get wet about it, and then you're like, hey, we can do better. Do you
Yeah.
want to do better? And so okay, it's fantastic. I didn't even consider that. So how do you find the people? Do you cold outreach them? Do you send out emails? Do you advertise on Facebook? Like, how do you get them?
Yeah, cold outreach, friends, and make posts on because you got to have a business page. So
Right,
you have a business page, and you just put everything you post that kind of stuff onto your business page, and then you use your personal page to go there and share
right,
it to your personal page, so then all your friends see it, and then now from there, then they're all interacting with it because once they click on Kale's page, that's you just share it from your business page. Once they click on that page, it's taking them back to the other page, to your business page. So now your business page is getting the reviews and getting the views and all that stuff, as well as you, but you're sharing that. So now you're getting that out in front of other people. And then there's cold emailing. Cold emailing, I'll just sit there and yeah, like send out offers, go through and attach a video with it and stuff like that too. Of like, hey, yeah, I mean, if you ain't using AI, even starting off with a little simple chat bot, I mean, how many people are visiting your website? Because I tell people this too. You can have an absolute blank page that says Kale's business and just have a chat bot on there
yeah,
talking nothing about talking about everything about your business, and you can get more business than a very beautiful website that has all this shit on there, where
yeah.
people have to go search for to try to find. Because that
I
chatbot's going to sit there and ask those questions,
yeah,
is going to be answering those questions that can combine the information. So then now you have um, information that's being given out that's not on the website. And so then now you have your chatbot on the website that just says Kale's business, and then Kale's business fancy website itself, but no bot. Guarantee you, the chatbot, the one with just the chatbot itself, is going to be it. Hey, well, what's Kale's business? Good question. Kale's business sells fishing line and tackle and all the, whatever, you know,
right.
and cool. Like, sounds pretty interesting. Like, how do you like get about this? Like, why is there nothing here? Well, there's no the our website is blank because with me here, I can give you all the information more than what the website would be, and da 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 da. So then now you then actually give people a sample website. You just give them a sample website to go through and go play with. One of them I've done is with the aminos bots is hey, welcome, name, phone number, email. So hopefully they put in the real stuff. And what I do is, especially on a test one, is come the email. Hey, if you put in a legitimate email, a real email, because we all have these. We got our junk emails that will give
Yeah,
anybody and everybody, but we still check it. We still get information sent there. And so that's in terms of the hopes of, somebody at least putting that in there instead of kale@email.com, and it's, getting rejected. Is if they put in a legitimate email, especially if they're testing it, I'll send you exactly how this conversation would be coming in and how you would be able to look at it. And so then now it's kind of in that hopes of like, hey, you'll see exactly how this is going to come out. No marketing, no nothing. Like, I'll just give you that. And, you're still going to market to them, but on the backside, like, here you go. Here's just exactly what I told you. A week later, hey, Kale, how you doing? you know, so it's not going to be anything marketing with that directly. And so then now you're getting your hopes, and hopes going to give them that. And now going through and going through the process, then like that last question is, you know, um, like what here, take us for a test spin. Here's Bob's, Charlie's Pizza Shop, Flo's Flowers, Jim's Gym, right? And then now it just branches out into three different pathways. And then now I'm prompting out just for those 3 different places, so they can then actually go in there and play with them for each one of those businesses. So then now essentially I have 3 different businesses in one chatbot, and it's just going down, and based upon whatever choice that you select, pizza place, flower shop, or the gym, then it's going to go down into a different AI block. And then now that AI block is going to, then just give back the information. And then people go like, wow, like this is cool. Yeah, hey, try out one of the other businesses, you know, and it'll go through. I set those up, before too. And it's like, dude, like just gets people to try it and get in there and like, wow, like this is cool. Like, hey, how can I get this? And then like it will still talk to them about how can they get this, and I have it set up for like a 10 chat back and forth conversation. Have a chat with them for visitors for 10 conversations. After that, then sit there and say, hey, try one of our other businesses. So, and so this is where, like down to your question there was what to do. You obviously see that there's so much to do in there. You can do the coding, HTTP, Python, JavaScript, JSON, whatever. You can get in there and do all that. It's going to be up to you and your choice. I like the fact, like, I'm good with the sales. I got no problem. I don't have a problem talking with people and that. But if I can give somebody like the chatbot, hey, like that, there gets them to come in, then I can start marketing. So like right now, I do a lot of work with a lot of people in real estate, and they go, well, I want to just text people. I'm like, texting has been dead for the last 2 years. People have to opt in to receive. Yeah. I'm like, what, really? I'm like, yeah. So if you get a chatbot, then they converse with the chatbot, the name, phone number, and email. Then once that there comes into the system, into their CRM, I'm automatically checking it off that they opted in at this date and time, that they actually opted in because they talked to my bot. So by them talking to my bot and voluntarily giving that information, it's now a lead that I can now market to for whatever, whenever, because it is, they came into my system, so I can send it out. So that's where you just kind of pick and choose. I just kind of fell down with the automation side right there. It's like, hey, like let's build this shit, because when I first got into doing real estate, I was looking for a system. I was given one, and I'm like, well, this thing like works half-ass, and I'm like, it just sucks. So I'm looking for other systems. I'm like, that's cool, but I didn't really know what I needed yet. And then somebody said, what do you want it to do? I'm like, okay, what do I want it to do? What do I need it to do? I think it was more along the lines of like, what do you need it to do? Was a more appropriate question. And I was like, ooh, good question. So then started getting me down the pathway of, in my business, what do I need it to do? What do I need in my business process? Because look at McDonald's, Jack in the Box, Burger King, In-N-Out, right? They all sell the same thing. They all sell burgers.
Right.
Okay, but they all have a special feature about them. McDonald's, In-N-Out, 30 seconds, right? You pull up to the drive-thru, you place your order, you're pulling around, you're getting your food, and like you're back out, you're on your way. You're late for work. That's the best place to go. But like everything just tastes the same though, right?
Right.
Like, there's no difference. Big Mac doesn't taste anything different than the quarter pounder, than the McDouble, than the filet of fish, right? It all just tastes the same. Jack in the Box is open 24 hours. You can get breakfast whenever, any time of the day, and then you just got a bunch of garbage food in there. Burger King is like more of a backyard type burger with it, because it's slower, flame broiled. You got real vegetables and stuff on there. And then you got In-N-Out, which is good, because all they have is you got hamburger and cheeseburger, you got a soft drink and a milkshake, and you got fries. That's it. So you don't have much in the way of choices there, but everything is fresh, so they can keep all that stuff there and make everything fresh. So as you drive through, guess what? That's why that big window is there. And you see them making everything. You see them making the meat and smashing out the patties and stuff. You see them, cutting down the French fries and stuff. So yeah, everybody has their own thing. So now you can, it's not a matter of the market being saturated. You have to be able to stand out.
Right.
So like for me, I go in there and I consult people. I'm like, okay, well, why do you want to do that? Okay, you want it to work like that? You should probably look at it this way. It might probably work better this way. No, 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 we done this and that and everything. Okay, well, I'm just putting it out there. I mean, I recommend this because of it this way. This is how this here works. This makes it much easier, less complications. No, 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 we just want it this way. Okay. And then 9 times out of 10, they usually come back, put in a revision for it, and I'm getting paid for it. And they're putting in a revision to switch back to the way that I was talking about in the first place.
That's awesome.
Okay, yeah, I don't know anything. So yeah, and now that's, I hope this is going to kind of give you an idea here of like
Oh, I'm
what it is to
in it.
do. You don't have to get lost in everything, because ultimately, if I do a build out for you and you say I want this to happen, I want this to happen. Okay. Doesn't matter if I utilize N8N or Zapier or Make or anything like that.
No.
Especially if I'm hosting it, taking care of it. You're going to pay me a monthly managing fee because I'm going to take care of all that stuff. Doesn't matter what chatbot. Doesn't matter what third party system. Doesn't matter anything really. It doesn't matter what app system I'm using. No, it really doesn't, because I delivered it to you. It doesn't matter unless you have a specific requirement that says, hey, I've already got a bunch of workflows built in Zapier. So I want you to build this in Zapier, and here's my Zapier account. Great. I'll do it in there. I'll build it out in there. I'll build it on your Make account, whatever. So now I'll do it in your system there. And so now that's where that kind of stuff comes into play. But ultimately, if you ask for $100 by the end of the day, and I said, okay, does it matter if I walk to my bank to take it out from the ATM, to walk to your bank to give it to your bank, or does it matter if I just got Zelle it? There you go. No.
Right.
At the end of the day, the money is in there at the end of the day, like you asked for. So it's there, right? So what does it matter? You don't care how it gets there. It just got there. I don't care if you got to rob your grandmother, steal from your grandmother to pay the bill, right? It's there. Okay, great. They don't really care who it is or how it got there. It could be blood money, like whatever, it's there. All right, cool. Got it. Thank you. So in that aspect, you don't have to know all these different tools. You got Vault, you got Lovable, Base 44, and whatever else. They're just different app building platforms. Yeah. You got Sora 2, you got Nano Banana, whatever, Wiz 2 or whatever. And they do little short videos. Well, they're all going to do a little bit better and something different from everybody else, because they have to. They absolutely have to. You can use the same platform build out, but then the output has to be different. So we can be baking cookies, have a cookie baking business, and I can use the same recipe as yours, and you're putting in a half cup of sugar, and I'm putting in 3/4 of a cup of sugar. It's still different. I'm not making your recipe. It's still different, but they look the same. They look very, very similar and stuff. But like people go, hey, I put a little bit of B12 in my cookie so you get energy and stuff. Like same thing, but I just changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so then you're going to come back out and go, okay, well, we took out sugar and put B12 in there. So you went down in sugar, but you also put B12 in there. Okay, well, like now yours is still better, and that's always going to happen. But right now, AI, everyone's trying to get into it and just understand that I need to get into the AI business. And it's not always about AI. What can ChatGPT do and all that stuff? Some of it is just building out, like in my case, like a lot of it is just some simple workflows, that make a business for him. And it doesn't have to utilize ChatGPT to have a chat agent in there to do and whatever, all this other stuff. No, like we just need to take this file from here. Once the new field comes in because somebody filled out this form, we just need this to happen. Like I can't sit there and just tell ChatGPT to make that happen,
Right.
because it needs the system. and needs to convert it into the other business, the other platform to make that happen. Well, how do you do that? Now with N8N, Make, Zapier, and those middle tools. That's
Right.
not AI. I mean, it is AI technically because it's advancing and stuff, but like you're using a tool that's moving this information to here, you know? So that's what I mean. Like you got to kind of figure out what it is that you want to do and then focus on that, but then you can gradually see how you can use other things. So I mean it's great that you're looking at this stuff, but when you look at it, like, let me back up. First off, you need to define what you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Define what you want to do. Then you can look at this other stuff. And so with that being said, you're defined on what you want to do. Now you can look at all this other stuff, but then look at it and you don't have to take an in-depth look. Look at some YouTube videos, stuff like that, see what people are doing with it, how they're using it, and see if that aligns with your business. 'Cause, like if somebody wants me to make them an app, I can do it. That's not a problem. I'll go over to base 44, Lovable, whatever,
Right.
and build out that app. I don't have that problem. But what's a bigger problem that I'm able to solve that most people can't? Logically thinking about how to put a system together. That's where I'm standing out though, is because I understand that. So you want something built. Okay, I already see it being built in my mind. And then I'm just asking them, hey, how would this work? Well, what if we did it like this? And then that way, then this would can come in here freely at no problem. And then we can make this calculation over here and do this. And they're like, yeah, I like that. So, and at that time, I'm just building that out for them, right? But if you keep following down the AI rabbit hole, you're going to keep going, falling and falling and falling, as to where this has got this one doesn't. Okay, how often are you going to use that
Right.
and use that one feature that this other one can't do? Like I look at the cost of things too. Like somebody was telling me, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and he's like, yeah, you can take this API and you can put it on this cloud server, on the server over here. And he's like, I'm going to do it, but I'm going to put the server on my computer. And I'm like, well, what happens if your computer goes down? Then all your systems are actually down. And he's like, ah, good point. I'm like, exactly. That's why I don't want to self-host on my own computers. I can, I don't want to, because if something happens to my computer, everything else is done, right? I
Right.
can't do it. I can't do anything. So I'll pay for a web hosting server. So, or, a hosting service. So I'm paying like $3 a month for a hosting service. That's where I run my N8N. So even if my computer's down, I can actually still run all that stuff. Now, if you help run it on your computer's down, you can't do anything. Like, absolutely can't. So with that being said, he's like, oh, okay, I get you. And so then now he wants to use this one API key that connects to this certain um, cloud server, right? At $20 a month. I'm like, okay, but now this is where I started looking into cloud servers though too. I have not seen one that duplicates, like that can copy the same carriers, same coverage, like except for N8N. So you got these various cloud servers. They'll primarily all have a connection to N8N, so you can self-host it. But if you take like base 44, you know, which you can self-host, but you
Mhm.
can self-host it, but you can't host it on a virtual server. Okay, so then that sucks. Or you can do it on one, but not the other. Well, this virtual server is where my N8N is, and this one doesn't host N8N, but it can host my app builder. Well, then that's another subscription that I got to pay there for that. Now, at that time, logically thinking, how much money is that one app bringing in for me, or that one tool to create those apps to bring in for me to constitute doing that? It doesn't. It doesn't even do anything. So I'm not going to do that. And I still just keep going to base 44 because I don't need to self host it yet. Right. And 8N I can. Right. because there I can sit there and use your workflows, host, have them run through my N8N server, and which means that I can charge you as a monthly management fee, because now I can take care of those workflows. Now I can do them in your own N8N account. I can build them out in there. That's fine. But if something happens, you have to call me, and I'm going to charge you again to go back in there, go fix it.
I like that
So
part.
monthly management fee, I can charge lower because I'm not going to have to be in there all the time.
Right.
Let's say I'm in there every 3 months. So that means, and we'll use $50. So if I charge you $50 a month on that third month, that's $150. Now, if it happened before, I'm probably charge you $200. So then now you're saving $50, but like if anything happens, I can go in there, go tweak it, any sort of updates, things like that. I can go in there, go do that. And so then now, again, looking at those other flashy items, check them out. Don't fall for them, but then ask yourself, okay, what can I do with this? Like, how can I, repeat this to make it worth my while? Like apps, I don't know anyone that wants apps and stuff all the time. Even people that are in business, they don't always want an app. Like you don't have to create an app for everything. That's like a cool tool. Like if you're in a big old corporate business or something like that, like, yeah, that's something else where they might be able to do that. But majority of the times, a lot of us are doing like smaller businesses and stuff like that. And, some mom and pops, medium-sized businesses, they're not necessarily needing an app. And if so, okay, hey, you know, so then like those monthly management fees, again, will cover your Make subscription, your Zapier subscription, your N8N subscription, whatever it is that you're doing. Because N8N, you get 2,500 actions or workflow triggers a month for like $20. So if you're charging somebody $50, right, and they're using 500, actions, 500 workflows a month, and now you have 5 people, right? That there's $100 before you have to upgrade to the $45, right? So now you're ultimately sold out all those workflows with an $80 profit, because it does only cost you $20. So then now, see what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's mathematics in there and stuff, but like you're thinking about this just logically, like how and why, So am I making money off of apps? No. Can you make big money off of apps? Yeah. But those are like one-hit wonders.
Right.
So with like Kieran and stuff, what he was talking about is like, yeah, you can build one-hit wonders. Well, I would rather have monthly recurring revenue, because face it, like that's just monthly money coming in,
Yeah.
And then so like you have, let's just say 20 20 bots coming in at $20 a month, $100 a month, let's just say that. So that's $2,000 a month there. You can do a specialized one specialized build for somebody for $2,000, right? But then
Right.
once that goes through and you build that, that's it. That's said and done. If I build out these smaller ones and just keep charging them,
Just keep
right?
coming. Yeah.
Now it just keeps coming in. Now, here's the thing too. You got 20 clients here. One of them falls off. Now you're down to 19. Now you're down to $1,900. On the other hand, if you got this one client over here for 2,000, right? Same price. That client leaves, you got nothing. I just totally changed it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'd rather just give out some of this stuff and do that just to get it out there, and like people will get happy about it. Like, oh, okay. So then now I can build up a system and say $2,000, to do that one-time build, and then now I'm getting a $200 monthly maintenance fee.
Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. All right.
So you see what I mean? There's
Yeah.
I hope you were able to digress it. When this is done too, is I'll give you the recording here too, so
I appreciate
you
that.
can you can go back through with this too, and if you had any questions about anything. But yeah, man, it like definitely just go through and niche down on like what it is that you want to do. I mean, like people sit there and say, well, you need to figure out like what kind of niche, like what kind of business. Well, all businesses need leads coming in.
Yep.
Probably except for the mortuary business, because if you're dead, like that's already a client, right?
Right.
You know, most people just kind of go to your neighborhood. Like no one. Hey, I highly recommend Bob's Barbecue over here. You bring them, we burn them. You know, no one's doing that. Like so, there's certain things that it's just like it's not going to happen. But yeah, having that, kind of aspect of what you want to do will help you out. And then again, seeing how it can work with what you're doing,
You know,
see
yeah,
how whatever it is that you're looking at can help your business, that business that you're doing, or that pathway or something like that. Because you can always learn it. That's not a problem. You
right.
can always sit there and say, hey, somebody says, hey, I want to, can you build out this app? Yeah, dude, you know what? Well, have you done it before? No, but you know what? I want to do this because one is going to expand myself, and
Right.
two, I'm going to do it for you for free. Now they're like, oh, okay. So now they're going through and like, okay, now I'm taking that loss in a pay to learn from myself because now I can communicate, have somebody to talk to
Yeah.
figure that stuff out. Because even then, like building out the apps, I'm like, cool, I can do the apps. What do I want to build out? What do I want to build out?
Right.
I don't know what you need to have built out because I need to talk with you and so many other people and so many other businesses to find that kind of stuff out. So once you do that, then I would know what to build for now. But see, there's a lot of times that like a lot of workflows and automations and stuff that I don't even know because talking to the business, like I don't know what they want. And it's like, cool. I like you can make anything happen. It's like, okay, great. Like, what do I want to have happen? Like, I don't want to sit there and spend a day trying to build that workflow for me to do just to find out that I can do it when I already know that it can. But it's like, is it something applicable? Not for me, not for you. Somebody might find it applicable at some point. When I get there, then I'll take care of that. But if I understand the businesses of the tools that I'm utilizing and I know what tool to use for what business or in what situation, it makes it easier. Just like working on cars. The engines and stuff are always changing all the time. So changing out the water pump on a 1990 Chevy 350 is totally different than what they are now,
Right.
right? It's a whole different process. But guess what? It's still the same thing. I still know that I'm going to need some of these tools here. Okay, now I may get in there and find out that I have to get for this one bolt, do something specific to get to that. Okay, it's not that easy anymore. Not like it was. Now it's totally different. I got to take this off, this off, this off, and this off just to get to that. So I can change that out. And well, why does it cost so much? Well, because I got to take off all this other work here just to get to that and stuff. And so then you start looking at things like, okay, well, if I got to get in there and I got to take all this off, we should probably change up these gaskets here with this as well and put new gaskets on there. So when we put it back together, it doesn't leak. Well, that's that much more money. And so like that's the manufacturer of the car. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Right.
Things change, but like I know how to do that. I understand how to do that. Like if I take out that gasket and we're putting it back on, and like an intake gasket, right? If I take the intake off on an engine, I know that I still have to put down, use new gaskets in there. So we're in there anyways. There's no extra charge for the labor for it. We're just going to charge you for the parts because I have to take that off anyways. And people will pass on it like, no, and then it comes back in. They're like, hey, this is still having a problem. Yeah, that's because we didn't change all those gases like we told you to. Now you're having to pay for more money because of diagnostics and now the part again, because now I got to do it a second time, you know? So then understanding, so in that process, you got to understand what it is that you're getting to, taking off, and like that's the core problem. Along the way, we have to replace these parts too, just for good practice.
Right.
Change out these parts and now put them over there, and now you're adding them in. So you see what I mean? Like there's a whole
Yeah.
lot that can go to it, and like you don't have to worry about getting lost. But that's the thing. That's what I've come to find out too, is that people that are generally lost in AI is they don't know what they want to do. oh, get an AI. Well, like, yeah, okay, but there's so many variations. Get into automotive. Okay, you can be a carburetor specialist. You can be a front end mechanic, changing up the front end suspension. You can be an engine mechanic. You can be a diagnostics. You can do rear ends. You can be a transmission specialist. Like, they're all doing it. They're all in the automotive industry, but now they're specializing in something. And even then, taking out the transmissions, they're different guts and internals varying from engine to engine. So same thing, but you understand how all that stuff works together. But now it's just for the business. Now you're flipping around on the business. You can do 5 real estate businesses back to back to back, and they're all going to have different processes.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Just like McDonald's, Burger King, and all them, right? They're all selling burgers, but they also have a different process of doing things because it's also a different type of client, different type of customer that they're getting.
So with this automation and with Aminos and whatever that you're doing, is it a sustainable full-time job? Like, when I say full-time,
It can be.
It can be because
Yeah, because it like
that.
ultimately, like, that's what I do is I put those things out there and people like, hey, yeah, like, I want to talk to you about those bots, and like it'll be a page that says, hey, free chat bots, use this code and like get a free chat bot, right?
Yeah.
And it automates everything, like that's it. And then people are like, hey, yeah, I want to know more about this. Okay. And like, so then now I'm getting on a phone call with them, getting on a call with them like this, and they're like, so like, how can I build these things out? I was like, oh shit, like now I'm ultimately now upselling them because it's like, oh, you don't want the free one, you want the one where you can get in. They're like, yeah, dude,
Right.
like now you can sell these things, build and sell them yourself and everything, and make money. Oh, okay, yeah, heck yeah. And all it was just ultimately, here's a free chat bot, and here we are. And I'm selling them something else because that's
I love that.
what they got on the call about.
I love free shit. So yeah.
I know, and I put that in there too. Like, hey, especially with after the automation, like, hey, go out and get this, and it's free, and because they'll click on the link, and it's like nothing happened, and it's like I'll send them a follow up message. Yeah, I don't like free shit either. Thanks for stopping by. Because then it's just like,
Right.
what? Like, free shit? What do you mean?
I'm gonna run with that
So
one. I like that.
yeah, it's
No,
just
I
like that's
appreciate
fine. I don't like free shit either. So, but yeah, man, like it's so you got to figure that out because then in turn, once you do know what you want to go for, there's always going to be a specialization for it.
yeah.
You know, um, like for me, I would say I'm the guy in the shop that does everything, but I don't do transmissions. I know how to diagnose if it's a problem in the transmission. I don't tear them apart. You give me a transmission, I'll take it out and put it in, but I won't tear apart the transmission. I won't tear apart the computers. Things like that, right? But I can do everything else on the
Yeah.
vehicle. Just that just comes from time and experience that you'll get better at it. Because it will not happen overnight. You have to get better and better and better. You have to do it more and more and more. So I'll finish it up with this. So like what you brought up in the beginning about, everybody wants this stuff to happen overnight.
Yeah.
Midnight millionaires, right? Over the night millionaires. And it's not. The Somebody's going to show you a course. Like I'm going to show you a course right now that I've been doing for the last 5 years, and how I got really good at it and what I was doing. And here's this course, and you're like, yeah, man, I want to do that. I can do that too. But here's the thing: people don't think about this common sense stuff. 5 years ago, when I did it, I was single, no kids. Fast forward now, I'm married and have kids. So you can knuckle down and grind and do what I'm showing you here, and you'll be successful if you were this guy back here, if you're that single guy. But like you're coming in now, oh, you got wife and kids and stuff like that. Okay, so you can't knuckle down and grind as quick as that is. But it took me 5 years to get to this point now. So if you have kids and you're working half as hard, then you got to figure that it's going to take you 10 years,
Yeah.
you know. But just to be able to have something that you can add on to and like get more business and stuff. I mean, you sell, your first month may be negative, your second month may be negative, third month may be even, and then positive and positive. It's because it takes time for people to see things, and then you're going to have ideas and change things around and stuff that, oh, this worked, this didn't, this worked, oh wait, this, going down this pathway works, you know. So that's what I mean. Like, because I've seen in the few courses that I have been in, people will sit there and get into them, and they're like, yeah, I want that, but then they never do because they can't work as hard as what that coach did,
Right.
because they got kids, they got a job and everything. Well, when I started back here 5 years ago, dude, I was on the verge of losing my apartment, and I had no car, I had no kids and everything like that. I had nothing to lose. Like, if I slept in a box underneath the bridge, it wouldn't be any difference. Wouldn't hurt anybody else except me, but like that's where I was going. I could sleep in my car, whatever. But that there was my situation. And that mindset mentality, I got focused in doing this. But then when everybody has a job and they're like, oh yeah, I want to get out of my 9 to 5 job and everything. Well, you're already set with those bills. You're already set to that lifestyle. You're already accustomed to that lifestyle. So you to turn around and just walk away from that is not going to happen.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm not walking away. So.
Yeah. So, and that's what gets people. They're like, well, he did it. And it's like, well, look where he was before and look where he is now. Like, now he's got wife and kids. When did he start? Ask him ultimately. When did he start? Oh yeah, I started when I had nothing. I was putting in 18-hour days, sleeping 4 hours a day, 6 hours a
Yeah.
day, whatever. And okay, great. Do you have 18 hours a day to put in? No. Okay. Well, what do you have? Oh, I can put in 9. Okay. Well, then that means that it's just going to take you twice as long, like mathematically.
Right.
If you put in 18 hours and you can only put in 9, that means that you can still do it, but it'll take you twice as long. But people just like ultimately lose that. Oh, you can do this stuff overnight and become a millionaire. No, you can't. But everybody falls for that.
I think that's what I've been doing. I've been chasing the
Yeah.
shiny, the one hit wonders.
Yeah. And so like with Aminos though too, itself, I've tried other chatbots and I have other chatbots that I build out for people itself, but it's just primarily the Aminos ones. Um, because they are unlimited and I can do, ultimately they're just the lead into it. But
Right.
other people want other type of bots and stuff. So I have learned those. But then I've seen that out of the like 5 or 6 different ones that I can build, like they're all the same. They do different things. Sometimes people, want one that's all super elaborate and stuff that we're going to build inside N8N and all this stuff. Well, then yeah, like that's a different than type of chatbot. Yeah, I'll charge you $2,000 for that chatbot, you know. But again, it depends on what it's doing. But utilizing the Minos is just getting you in there, just getting you essentially giving, hey, sit down and have a call with me, a nice 30-minute call. Let's consult about your business. And if you don't like what I say, that's fine. You still get the free chat bot.
Yeah.
You could even do something like that. And like people would be like, okay, cool, I'll take a free chat bot. Yeah, hey, dude, like, hey, I just want to look, I'm starting up. I'm just looking to get into this. And now and then like just kind of take it from there. Like, hey, dude, like I just want to, see how I can consult you on your business. If you need any help, like anything that you can do, like maybe I might have a solution there for you. Take it, run with it. Like, I don't know. But then that's going to get you to sit down with people more and more so you can actually get better with that. Because like for me, there's times that people are like, well, I want this and that to happen. And it's like, well, why? Like I get what you want, but why? And they're just like, oh, I don't know. I saw somebody else do it. Okay, is that what you're doing though? Well, no. Okay, then why? I'll build it for you. You pay me, I'll build it. Like that's fine.
Right.
I could have just sat there and said yes, I'll do it, and just kind of been a dick and take your money and build it, and just here you go, and then watch
Right.
you fail with it. But I'm not trying to do that. I've got I want to truly help people. So why would I do that? Now, if you just blatantly argue with me and say, dude, just do it. I don't care. Just do it. Okay, well, fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
I get paid. I'll give it to you. Like that's not a problem. But ultimately, if I'm consulting you as a business consultant, I want to make sure that what we're doing is going to be beneficial for you, or there's some sort of outcome goal with it.
Right. No, that's good. It's been very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, so I hope you got some clarification on all this stuff,
I
and
do. It kind
I
of
know
gets
it seems like a lot. That's why you'll get this video and stuff too, so you can kind of reference it back and stuff like that, and hopefully kind of give you an idea like where to go and stuff, things that you can do. Because again, aminos is just a foot in the door. Hey, yeah, it's like a conversation starter, and if you got unlimited bots, just give them away and like figure out a way to automate that so you're not spending time on building out somebody's bot like that. Just something simple that you would cookie cutter give out to anybody: name, phone number, email, go into an AI block, create yourself a template of a prompt, and have them fill out a form and put those blanks in there. So how I was doing it before was like create the prompt, and then each one of those fields from when they filled out that form would interject into one of those spots in that prompt. And I would just go copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, paste that into that amino spot. Here you go. And then they have it. Now I just went through and did it more and more. I advanced on it. I'm like, okay, cool. Because the whole thing was I got up to do it, and it's like, okay, now I need to go through and automate this a little bit more. And that's what I did.
That's cool.
Yeah. Because then you'll figure this stuff out yourself.
I will. I'm still going to get that $1 million. It just might be 10 years down the line.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't even have to be $1 million. Doesn't have to.
That's my goal. I want to buy a house. I want to have a house paid for and done. So.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, and if you do that, then with the interest and everything, yeah.
Again, I don't need 20 million. Just one. Just
right.
I want
get 20. Just get 1 million. Come over here to the Philippines, and you can live the rest of your life.
Okay.
Hey, that's where I'm at. I'm in the Philippines right now.
I love that food, so I could go for that. For sure.
Yeah, exactly. And then I get it here all the time. Everyone's always amazed. Like even in the States, they were always amazed. You eat that? I'm like, well, the wife made it. I'm gonna eat it. Otherwise, I got to make my own food, and I'm not picky. There's food there, so I'll just eat it.
That's awesome. No, Chris, thank you very much. It's been helpful, truly. Yeah,
absolutely, man.
I'll keep you updated on my progress. I'll just send you DMs. I'll keep you updated.
All right, cool, man. Yeah, definitely good talking with you, Kale. And hopefully you'll have this and then be able to go back and like kind of pinpoint, here's something else about it that that just kind of hit you and stuff. So cool.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It's given me a direction.
Cool. You're very welcome. Glad I could help, Kale.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
All right.
I'll talk to you soon, I hope. All right.
Yeah, absolutely. See ya.
Okay, bye.